morning, I think I'm gonna try one.
And still believe and be spellbound by legends.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. So we are supposed to be getting a really big snowstorm for the next 2 days, but the weather report is saying that it isn't supposed to start until later this afternoon. And I do have a client booked this morning. I was talking with her earlier trying to figure out what we were going to do, if we were going to reschedule or not, but I feel like if it's gonna start when they're predicting it's supposed to, we should be fine and we should be able to finish her hair before it starts. I'm hoping. Here's my outfit. It is absolutely freezing outside. So I have this turtleneck sweatshirt from American Eagle. I was originally gonna wear a different sweater, but I put it on and it was just super itchy. So I wanted to be more comfortable. Just have plain black leggings and my Hunter all-weather boots. So I'm pretty sure this client is gonna be a color correction. I've done her mom's hair in the past, and I remember her mom telling me how she colors her daughter's hair at home all the time, and she's always going from one color to the next, and now she wants to be a little bit lighter. But I'm excited to vlog this because I want to share with you guys what I do with color corrections and how I handle like the consultation portion of it. So we'll see. She sent me a picture of her hair on Instagram, but it's hard to tell in a photo, you know, so I need to see her hair in real life, in person, in natural lighting, and then we'll figure out what we're doing. So I will see you at the salon. So this is exactly why I said you need to see your client's hair in person. Yes, sending pictures is great, but you can't always tell through a photo the porosity of the person's hair, the texture, how damaged it is. So as you can see, she had a lot of banding. She had her natural roots growing in, which were like kind of a light brown, dirty blonde color. And then all over was just like this kind of faded, uneven, coppery red. And as you can see, her ends were so fried. And the inspiration photo that she showed me was like a golden balayage. But I was completely honest with her and I straight up told her her hair could not handle any lightening service today. And I literally showed her like those pieces on the top of her head that are just so short and broken. That is just from damage, from coloring it so much, from bleaching it at home, not using the best products, pushing the hair past its limit. So what we decided to do was a reverse balayage. So I was gonna darken her all over, try to even out her base and cover up as much of that uneven copper as I could, and then leave a few pieces out and tone them down so that she would still have dimension. It would still give her the look that she kind of wanted, but it wouldn't be as light as what she wanted. And I just explained to her that I could do what she wants. I could highlight her hair, but I know without doubt that her hair will break off and she will end up with super short broken pieces. And I always tell my clients, you can have the most beautiful color, but if the condition of your hair is shit, your hair is not going to look good. The color is not going to look good. It's not going to shine correctly. It's not going to take evenly. So she completely understood. So I used Paul Mitchell Color XG, equal parts of 5N, which is a neutral level 5, with 6A, which is an ash level 6. I wanted to make sure that I was going dark enough that I was going to be able to cover over that red, but without going too dark, because remember, her natural color is pretty light. So I covered over her roots, and my foiling pattern for this was slice, weave, slice, weave. So I would do an entire slice of the dark color, then I would do a weave, leave some pieces out so that we could keep some dimension throughout and it would look like she had highlights. once I finished applying that dark color, I used Redken Shades EQ 6GI with a little bit of 6GN to apply on the pieces of her hair that I left out. Because the inspiration photo she showed me was warm, I didn't want to try to completely cover over the red, but I did want to neutralize it a little bit and just even it out as best I could. So I did gold iridescence with a little bit of a green to neutralize the red a little bit. And because her hair was so porous, I knew it was gonna just suck that color up. So before I applied the color to each piece, I sprayed it down with some water, combed through it, and then I added a little bit of Olaplex number 2 so that the hair would be able to suck that up and the color wouldn't over deposit. So I let that process for the full amount of time, and then this was her finished hair, and you can see, even though we went darker, she does have some dimension. I think her hair definitely looks way better now, but it still has a long way to go. It's still pretty damaged, so I went over with her how to maintain her hair at home, what things she should do to help get it healthy. She's going to be doing a lot of at-home Olaplex treatments, and then hopefully in a few months her hair will be healthy enough that we can maybe lighten it a little bit. It's starting. I just got home. Oh, this lighting is... I'm really glad that I ended up taking my client, because as I finished her, like literally she was paying as the first few snowflakes started to fall. And even now, it's like just a light flurry. It's not coming down heavy yet, so that was perfect timing. And, you know, I'm glad that I was able to make a little extra money for the week. She was like smiling so much. Like even under the mask, I could tell she was actually really happy. So that made me feel good, but you know, it's difficult because when the hair itself is so damaged and the porosity is so uneven, like the results are never going to be as good as they could be on healthy hair, you know? I tried my best and she's happy, so that's really all that matters. So I'm glad I got that done, and now I can just enjoy being snowed in for the next day and a half. So the vlog that's supposed to go up for today, Vlogmas Day 16, I edited it last night before I went to bed, and at some point my computer just randomly crashed. It was all put together, I just needed to add like some final touches to it and then put it to upload and make the thumbnail and all that kind of stuff. I just turned my computer on and pulled up the video, and all of the footage is corrupt. So I only have like a minute of footage because I guess the computer crashed while it was importing the footage from the SD card, so it never like properly imported it. And I just cleared my SD card when I started vlogging today because I figured it was all on here and I was all good. So now I have like, oh my god, look at this. So here's all the footage, right? I have a little clip of me in the car, grocery store, and then the whole rest of the vlog. Like this, you can see it, but this little camera thing here, see, it's missing. It never imported properly. This whole vlog. And I mean, it wasn't that good of a vlog, to be honest. Like I just went grocery shopping, did a little grocery haul, and then I just made dinner and answered some questions. So I think maybe what I'll do is once this vlog is done, I will upload it today so that I'll have a video up for today. So this will be Vlogmas Day 16, and then I'll just do something extra, like a sit down video or something for the next day. So then I'll be caught up again. Oh my God. I feel like, you know, we got way too far. Things were running way too smoothly. I was bound to run into technical difficulties. I'm just so annoyed that I wasted all that time editing last night for nothing. It's starting to stick. All right, we're sitting on the floor so I can get that good natural lighting by the window. And it's cold. So I got my blanket. It's still kind of early, it's only 3:45, but because I want to post this vlog today, I figure let's kind of wrap it up. I'll do some questions of the day. I literally answered these questions yesterday, but all that footage is corrupt. So I'm gonna re-answer the same ones. So at the end of each Vlogmas video, I am answering the questions that you leave me in the comments of the previous day's video. So if you have a question that you want me to answer tomorrow, go ahead and leave it in the comments of this video. The first question is from Jess. How did you know cosmetology was your calling? And then I got a similar question from Emma. When you were in your early 20s, how did you start to narrow down things you're passionate about and could do forever? I feel so overwhelmed and as if I'm not gravitated towards anything. I remember my mom used to box dye her hair at home, and she would always ask me to help her apply it and make sure that she didn't miss any spots in the back. And I just thought that that was always so cool. It was always so fun for me to just like watch her doing that. And then as I got older, I started experimenting with my own hair. And I definitely knew early on that it was something that came very naturally to me. Just like color theory in general, like it clicked for me pretty easily. But what made me really realize like, okay, this is my passion and this is what I want to do as a career. I remember I was in college and this girl had reached out to me. She was like a friend of a friend, and I was not a professional yet at this point. I was just doing my own hair and like friends and family. And she reached out and was like, hey, would you be willing to do my hair for me? I'll buy the product, I'll pay you, you know. And her hair was a freaking mess. There was like a lot of banding going on, and her goal was to be a solid platinum blonde. So I did it for her, and honestly, it came out so good. I was really proud of myself, especially for somebody who didn't have any professional training yet at that point. It came out really good, but it also took forever because she had a lot of hair. It was like a whole correction. And I remember by the end of it, I was so exhausted, and I looked at the time and I couldn't believe how much time had passed, because as I was doing her hair, it just felt like it was flying by. I was enjoying it so much. I wasn't even thinking about how tired I was and how long it was taking, you know? Fast forward to when I had my 9-to-5 desk job, I would constantly be checking the time, and every minute that went by felt like an eternity. And that's when I realized, okay, I need to be doing something for my career where the time is just flying by while I'm doing it and I'm not constantly staring at the clock. And for me, that was doing hair color and YouTube as well. I started doing YouTube when I was in college just as a hobby, and I've been doing it ever since. And it's really only been like the last couple of years where I've made a pretty decent income from it. So for years I was just doing it because it was fun. So I would say, think about, what do you enjoy doing as a hobby? What things excite you? What things could you spend hours and hours doing? And then try to figure out how you can turn that into a career. Because especially nowadays with the internet, I mean, you can really turn anything into a business. But at the same time, don't put too much pressure on yourself, and don't feel like there's a certain timeline where you need to figure this stuff out. For a while, I felt very lost. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Just stay open-minded and you'll figure it out eventually. Marina asked, if you were to move out of Pennsylvania, where would you move to? For the longest time, I always said how I hate the winter and I wanna move somewhere where it's warm year-round. So either like Southern California or just somewhere in the South. And I feel like now, as I'm getting older, I still hate the cold, don't get me wrong, but I do appreciate the seasons more. I would maybe want to move up north a little bit more, like maybe Connecticut or somewhere in New England. I really have no idea. Jade said, I've been subscribed to your channel for a couple years now. If I remember correctly, your channel name was samanthavayYT, or at least that's how you used to introduce yourself. Any reason to why you changed to Sam Vay? Love your videos. Thank you. So yeah, when I first started my YouTube channel, my username was Samantha Vay. And I mean, that is like my legal name, right? Samantha, obviously Sam is short for that. But nobody in my real life ever calls me Samantha. Everyone calls me Sam. But I chose Samantha for my username because I felt like it just sounded a little bit more professional, and I was like, oh, that'll be like my online alias, Samantha Vay, because Vay is not my real last name. It's just like a shortened play on my name, sort of, because my real last name nobody can ever spell or pronounce. So yeah, I just thought that that would be my more like fancy internet persona. I don't know. But then as time went on and more people online were calling me Samantha, I was like, ooh, this just feels really weird, because like I said, nobody calls me that. And I just wanted to be the exact same person online that I am in real life. So I decided to just change it to Sam. But thank you for sticking around for so long. Junie Mondify asked, if booking with a new stylist, would you recommend only getting a cut first or cut and color, or does it not really matter? I have found a stylist I will try getting an appointment with in the new year, and I wonder if I should go all out to see directly if I want to stay with them or test the waters first. I wouldn't say that going in for just a haircut is testing the waters necessarily, because every stylist has strengths and weaknesses, right? We all have like our specialties. So say you go into a stylist and you book a cut with them first to test out the waters, and the cut comes out amazing, so you go back for a color next time. Maybe they're better at cutting than they are at doing color. So even though the haircut came out really great, the color might not be as good. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Some people are stronger with color and not as good with cuts. So I would say if you are gonna go to them and you wanna just book the service right away, I would just book both, do the color and cut at the same time. That way it'll save you time from having to go and make 2 separate appointments. But if you want to test the waters and kind of feel the stylist out first, if they offer consultations, like just standalone consultations, I would book that first. That way you can go and meet the stylist in person. You can kind of feel out their personality, see if you are a good fit. Especially if you want to get color, it's a good idea to let them see your hair in person first and come up with like a game plan of what they're gonna do with your hair. And the last question is from Ashley. I'm a crime junkie too. The question is, what particular case bothers you or you want to be solved the most? You know we all have those cases. Mine is Missy Beavers. Ooh, that is a really good one. I watched a bunch of videos on her case a few months ago. For me, there's so many, like I love true crime so much. There's so many cases that I just find so fascinating. And even if I already know a lot about the case, if I see a new video or a new documentary or a new podcast episode come up, I will watch it anyway because I just like can't get enough. And I love getting different perspectives. What like really keeps me up at night and just I can't get past is people who just go missing and seem to disappear in thin air and there's like no trace of them. So one that comes to mind is Brandon, let me look it up. Brandon Swanson. So he was from Minnesota and he was driving home after a party, like in the middle of the night, and I think his car, he like drove into a ditch or something like that and his car got stuck. So he called his parents to come get him and they weren't able to find him. His dad was on the phone with him and all of a sudden Brandon just goes, "Oh shit," and then the call drops and they have never found him since. They were able to find the car and it was in a totally different place than where he told his parents he was, and they just have no idea what happened to him. And this was in 2008 and still like they never found a body, nothing. That to me is crazy. At least in murder cases, there's a body, and even if you don't know like what happened and who did it, but you know at least like, okay, well the person is dead. But with missing people, you don't know, like, did they get abducted? Were they human trafficked? Are they still alive somewhere? If they are dead, like whatever happened to their body? Those are the kind of cases that I just can't stop thinking about. But comment down below if you're a true crime lover. Let me know what is your favorite case, or like what case can you not get out of your head. That's gonna be it for today's vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your questions. Don't forget, if you have a question you want me to answer in tomorrow's video, go ahead and leave it in the comments of this one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.